I change your bum life. You fight me, it's a celebration.
I would beat you.
When you sign to fight me, it's a celebration. You ring back home, you ring your wife. Baby, we done it. We're rich, baby. Conor McGregor made us rich. Break out the red panties.
Are you ready?
That goes in the files.
Are you ready? Let's get it all!
Yo, welcome back to the fifth round. As always, your boy Stephen Moustaris. And guys, it's fight week. I just did a video yesterday for UFC 285, just kind of talking about just my excitement for a Jon Jones week, and it's been the first fight week I've been excited for, or at least a Jon Jones fight week that I've been excited for since 2018 in December when he beat Gus for the second time. And I guess I can't lie, I was excited there for the Dominic Reyes fight, the Anthony Smith fight, the Thiago Santos fight. Like, I get it, I was excited, I guess, but just not to the level of, like him fighting all these killers like Gus, DC, Shogun. I could be a broken record when I talk about this. We know who he's beat. He's one of the greatest athletes of all time. And, before I get too crazy into the rest of the card and the main event and whatnot, or I should say the two main events with, Valentina and Alexa Grasso, I definitely kind of wanted to sit here and just talk about how stacked this damn card is. And I guess there's like a, it seems like every card nowadays, or at least every other month here now, we're starting to see our legends that really, at least for me, man, I've been watching the sport for like 15 years now, and we're starting to see some of these legends that I've grown up with, 16, 17 years now. It's like, man, you're starting to see these guys go out, and it's one of the most unforgiving sports out there. It's like, yeah, you want to see your guy go out, like, you want your Shogun Huas, your, luckily Jim Miller's still fighting, but I'm saying you want your Cerrones, the Frankie Edgars. I mean, I can go on for days talking like the Chuck Liddells, Rashad Evans, like all these guys that we watched go out in the ugliest way possible. Like, you want to see them go out nice, but which leads me into it here, man. It's like the prelim. I mean, I think it's the main event of the prelims, which I don't know how it's. I don't want to hate here. This is the other thing. I'm not trying to sound like a hater because I'm not. I love these fighters. I love everything about them. But you can't deny the fact that Cody Garbrandt has probably had one of the biggest fall-offs from, as a champion, I guess, to at least achieve champion, and then to just completely just go on and go. I mean, Jesus, the dude went 11-0, won the title, joined the UFC in 2015, a little over a year and like 3 months. This man rattles off 5 or 4 knockout wins and then fights Dominic Cruz, and the absolute just class act that he put on. And that performance was one of the greatest performances you'll ever see. It was like a guy, when you see him in the flow state, like that was him. And then ever since the Dillashaw fights, I don't know what happened, but he goes 1-5 in his next 6, and it's, he hasn't had a win since 2020 against Rafael Assunção, which is actually a pretty impressive win. But I kind of forgot that we didn't see him last year. I thought that he fought last year, but then you look at it and you forgot that it was late December that Kai Kara-France knocked him out in the first round when he tried to jump down to 125. And it's sad because the UFC, here they are throwing him up against Trevin Jones, who I think Trevin Jones is only like he had that one. I think his first fight was a no contest. It got overturned to a draw, so I think he's 1-3 in his 5 fights, 1-3-1, and he's lost 3 in a row. It's one of them matchups, to be honest. It's like it should favor Cody Garbrandt, but it's so sad, man, once you see these guys, as soon as their confidence gets hit just a tad. Like, that's in life in general. Like, I mean, I know that it's that way with basketball, football, soccer, any sport that you guys play. Like, I mean, I could, like, even with just, sparring and Muay Thai and everything and kickboxing and everything, like, confidence is the biggest thing in sports, man. And I couldn't imagine being a top-level fighter and having just a little bit of the ego hit or just a little bit of that confidence shook just a tad. And, man, that's what makes differences out here and sometimes in these fights. And, yeah, we see guys that have too much confidence going there, cocky, like Luke Rockhold against Michael Bisping. That's first one off the top of my head right there. And, you got those guys, which can hurt you, but you'd rather almost see them have too much confidence than none at all. And I think that's literally the only thing we're seeing here with Cody. Like, when he first loses to Dillashaw, I think it was a lot, other than the fact Dillashaw was probably cheating, which is the other sad part about Cody Garbrandt's career. Like, yeah, we can sit here and, like, point at him and tell him, like, oh, man, you're losing all these fights. But it's like, dude, there is a strong possibility out there. Like, if he didn't lose to Dillashaw or didn't fight probably a roided up or EPO'd up Dillashaw, like, Cody might have won those fights, especially that first fight where he rocks him at the end of the round. Like, what if Dillashaw's not on the juice, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, he didn't have that extra little push to help him. So you never know. It's all hypotheticals, and sadly everything happened. But, it's just sad to see these guys that we grew up to love and see them have such great performances just fall from grace, and that's like it's the amazing and the sad thing about this sport. So, it's like here we are now, man. It's like what does a loss to Trevin Jones do for Cody Garbrandt? Like we're sitting here now. It's like shit, man. Like if this is almost any other random fighter, like I'm not trying to be a dick here. If this is when any other average fighter, like if just a random person pops up, like say Mark Hominick would have beat Jose Aldo back in the day, and Mark Hominick never goes, and he goes on to lose 5 in a row or only win 1 out of his next 6. Like he's probably getting cut after that, after losing 5 of them. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe even after that 5th fight where he's 1-4. Like the average fighter's probably going to get cut. You know what I'm saying? We've seen guys get cut off of worse, less, all these things, and but Cody's got the name, he's got the brand out there, he's got it all. He had the looks, he had the knockout power, he's got the highlight reels, he's got the rivalries. He's got a lot in the game, which I understand. That's why I keep him. But it's like, dude, what does a win do for you if you're Cody Garbrandt? Like, yeah, I get it. Okay, you beat Trevin Jones, like cool, but like, dude, a loss by Trevin Jones. Like, no offense to Trevin Jones, the dude would kick my ass for sure. I'm just saying, like, you lose to that, especially a guy that's like who we've seen you beat over the years. Like you're the first person to beat Thomas Almeida. Not only beat him, you knock him out. You got the Rafael and Sensei knockout, which he never gets knocked out. You got all these Dominic Cruz, the Mizugaki, all these fights that we've seen him do. And then like even the Pedro Munoz fight was pretty fucking fantastic until he got a little out of control. And clearly he goes on and he loses. I mean, Rob Font he loses to Kai Kara France, who almost won the damn belt if he was looking good, but he got caught with that rib shot. It's a lot of these things. And you also, if you're a Garbrandt fan, you're probably pretty excited that he's not fighting Julio Arce this weekend. That's who he was supposed to fight. And I don't know, dude. It's just so tough because, like, you want to sit here and pick Garbrandt to win, and you want to see him win, and you want to see him do his thing. But, like, even, like, a fight, like, against Rob Font, like, usually Garbrandt's known to be the guy that's got the more power and everything. But, dude, if you guys go back and watch that fight, I remember all 5 rounds. I'm sitting there like, Cody's getting his licks in, but, man, you can just tell every time Rob Font touches this man, he's just hurt. Like, and Cody's, like, almost, like, shelling up a little bit. So, I don't know. It's tough. I want to sit here and say, like, Cody Garbrandt's got this, but, like, dude, let's be real here, guys. Like, I don't want to see anybody get cut. I don't want to see anybody have a bad, performance and get cut or get knocked out and get cut or anything like that. I only want to see, I only want to see greatness and I only want to see success from people. But guess what? When it's a fight, one-on-one fight, and it's a one-on-one sport, there's always a loser, there's always a winner. And I know sometimes it doesn't always pan out that way. There's sometimes that somebody wins and you're like, oh, I think the other guy won. But it's just sad the way that this sport's been trending recently. We've been watching a lot of people just get knocked out here. Like, I remember staying up thinking Ryan Bader and Fedor's second fight. I was like, oh, Fedor might have a chance. And then we talk ourselves into believing. And then next thing you know, like, well, yeah, we saw this coming. Just absolute domination. So I wish the best to Cody Garbrandt. I hope he can do the damn thing. But, man, I'm just saying, guys, just be careful. Like, this might be one of them ones that we say goodbye to him. And I don't want to hate at all, but I just don't agree with his placement on the card, by the way, either. You got guys like Ian Gary, who's 10-0, who's coming up, who's an absolute monster and does nothing but fireworks that could easily take that spot. Even the fight before that, Dricus Duplessis versus, I'm blank as shit, but Dricus Duplessis versus Derek Brunson. Like, even that fight could probably take that, even though it's a fight before that. And then I know there's, like, Cody Saman on there who's like 21 years old, 22 years old. It's a dog, so regardless, I just hope Cody can get the job done, and let's go, baby.